After raising more than $7,000 for a multitude of causes in 2020, one local business owner is finding ways to make this year even more of a success. Hi, I'm Josh McEwen here with Dufferin News, and today I'm joined by Jessica Medeiros, coordinator of the Shop with Purpose Market, and we discuss what her company has in store for the people of Dufferin for 2021. They've started their Mug of the Month initiative, which we review, as well as talk about this month's markets and the beneficiary. Furthermore, we chat about the local purpose, the new magazine that Shop with Purpose is launching, with the first issue coming out March 1st. If you are an advertiser or a writer interested in appearing on this publication, be sure to watch this to learn more. Thanks to Jessica for making this possible, and to you, the audience, for listening. Hope you enjoyed this segment of Dufferin News. Thanks. So, hi, it's Josh McEwen here with Dufferin News, and today I'm joined by Jessica Medeiros, coordinator for the Shop with Purpose Market. Thank you for your time, Jessica. It's appreciated. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. It seems like you've got a lot going on. I'm excited to talk to you about it. So
there's always a lot going on, and there's always new things. So I'm so excited to tell you about everything that we did last year, everything we've got planned for this year. So there's so much stuff since we last talked.
Awesome. Can you tell us about the last Shop with Purpose Market and how it went?
Yeah, so our first virtual market of 2021 was on January 16th. What we're doing now is we devote an entire month to our causes. So we raise money for Haley, and if you don't know Haley's Cookies for a Cause, Haley is currently fundraising for her service dog. So just like all of our virtual markets, a portion of all our fees that we collected went to Haley directly, and then we promoted her. We did a Mug of the Month for her, so that's new for this year. Every month we come up with a new mug, and it's just like your standard coffee mug, but it has a custom design on it, and it's designed by Love Lola Daisy. She is a small business here in Orangeville. So she designs our mugs for us, and then $5 from the purchase of every single coffee mug goes to our whatever cause that we're fundraising for that month. So we had 2 mug designs for January, and it was goal inspired because obviously January is new goals, new resolutions, all the new stuff. So we created 2 mugs for that, and then we sold those, and then again, the portion of all those proceeds went to Haley too. So we just created new fundraising opportunities.
Wow. That's really cool. Because I did see that on your website. And I meant to ask about that. The Mug of the Month. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So how much money did Shop with Purpose raise last year for nonprofits and charities?
Last year we actually raised more than I would have ever expected. We raised $7,200 and change, almost $7,300. So my goal for last year was $4,000. That was my goal. That was it. We hit 4,000 and I was like, all right, let's do 5. Hit 5. I was like, there's no way we're going to keep going. That's not happening. 6 happened. We did an article in the Banner and in the Citizen in October, and we were at $5,000. By the end of the year, we were at $7,300. I was like, I don't, how'd this happen? How did it happen? Wow. Almost $7,300 was donated last year just to 12 different causes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So let's see if we can do it again this year.
Yeah. Can you give us a few examples of the recipients?
Yeah. So December, we didn't do any virtual markets in December. We just did Santa Claus experiences. And a portion of all the proceeds from our experiences went to Dufferin Child and Family Services. In November, we fundraised for Headwaters, and we did a cookie dough fundraiser. We did virtual markets, and then we did virtual markets every weekend in November. That's why we had so much. They were our highest donation for the entire year. I think there was almost $1,500 that went to them in November. We did Santa Claus North Pole sessions last year for the Alzheimer's Society. We did Halloween fairy bags for the Maxwell George Fleming Foundation. We did our virtual markets. We did our only in-person market for September at Cambion Farms, and that was for Choices.
I remember that. We talked about that one.
That's what we talked about last time, I think.
Yeah.
Who else did we fundraise for? The firefighters. We fundraised for Bethel Hospice, Community Living. I'm forgetting some. There's 2 that I'm missing.
Wow. That's a lot. Geez. And I mean, I know Headwaters. They've been mentioning how much their donations have gone down, like due to the pandemic, because a lot of their fundraisers were in-person events.
Exactly.
And so I mean, I'm sure they appreciate it. I mean, like what you're doing for them. Because I mean, like, wow, like that's great.
Yeah,
That's so great.
fundraising across the board for every nonprofit right now is super low because they rely on these in-person events like galas and workshops and all that sort of thing to raise their money for a lot of their programming. And a lot of the programming doesn't come from government funding. It comes from grassroots events and different fundraising opportunities. So we just help where we can. And
Yeah, that's great. I mean, because it's just, again, given last year what everything was last year, it's great to see that and hear that. Because I mean, that's awesome, and thank you so much. Because I mean, like you know better than I do, let these organizations need the help.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So Shop with Purpose. This is what we're mostly here to talk about. So Shop with Purpose is coming out with a magazine, The Local Purpose. Can you tell us more about this and what kind of content will be in the magazine?
Yeah, so The Local Purpose is a magazine written by the people for the people, essentially. It features, we have a lot of guest writers. So our first one launches March 1st. We don't have too many articles in that one, but again, it's our very first thing. So it's kind of like testing the waters. So we have some local writers that have contributed content to it. Revival has actually contributed a drink recipe. It is delicious. So you'll be able to make your own alcoholic drink. And the recipe will be in there. We have like a food recipe in there. And then we have a ton of local businesses. And when I say local, I mean all Ontario based for the most part in this session, but that's not just our criteria. Our criteria is Canada wide. So as long as you're a Canadian based company, small business person, service, whatever, you can actually advertise in The Local Purpose. Same with writing and contributing, any of that sort of stuff. So we have a bunch of great advertisers inside of the magazine as well. And then at the back of the magazine, there'll be a QR code that you can actually scan, and it'll give you a list of everybody who's in the magazine so that you can follow them on their social medias or their websites or whatever you want.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's exciting.
Wow. That QR code, that's really great, because I mean that really does help with people. I mean all of it sounds great. I mean the drink, like, I'm not a big drinker, but I mean, like, it's great. It's great to see that kind of stuff, especially again from that industry, because they've been really hard up this year.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that there's some promotions, some creative solutions like that, and fun ones. So that's great. So I mean that's really awesome, and again the QR code I find really cool. Like, again, you hit that and you can get all the lists. So, I mean, you can keep up with everybody. I'm assuming local businesses are in there too, right?
Yeah. So there are tons of local small businesses that have chosen to advertise. There's a local realtor who's chosen to advertise inside the magazine. There's a lot of great, and like a lot of businesses that you might not expect, like things that you might not know of. There's a food delivery service. There's like custom business work people. We're obviously advertising in the magazine too. So all of our virtual events will be listed. Each cause. So the way that the magazine is going to run, it'll be quarterly. So it'll run March, June, September, and December. There's a hard copy for the magazine, and then the hard copies we partnered up with a subscription service box. So they are based out of Mississauga, and each of their subscription service boxes will get a copy of the magazine inside of it. So it's going Canada wide, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super cool. So you'll be able, like, that physical copy will be in there. And then because it's going by the quarter, we have all of our causes lined up already for the most part. There's a couple months that are still missing. So they'll be in the magazine too. Like, there'll be like a 1-page advert kind of thing that they can advertise for free, whatever they want, about their not-for-profits, so that it reaches even more people. And then it'll be available digitally on our website with the links to all of people's social media. So you can actually view the magazine and then scroll down and then be able to click anybody who contributed or advertised or whatever. Wow. And then we have actual copies of the magazine. So we're printing 100 100 copies to start. 35 go into the subscription service magazines, and then the other 65 we have available for people to purchase. And by purchase, I mean make a donation of whatever they want, whether it's 50 cents, 25 cents, I don't really care. And then that donation it gets split between our 3 causes for the month. So it'll be March's cause, April's cause, and May's cause for our first one. And then whatever people have paid is what we're going to donate on top of what we would normally donate, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing, especially with the subscription boxes. Like, I mean, wow, like it's helping get it out there. It's great again for the advertisers and the writers. Like, that's awesome. Like, I wasn't thinking that at all. I mean, that's a really creative one. Like, that's awesome. So I mean, you kind of mentioned this. So are you looking for writers? Like,
yeah. So we obviously can't pay right now. So it's free writing.
Yeah.
It's great advertising for you, especially if you're like getting into the writing scene. We don't really have any criteria of like, you need to have a background in writing. I don't care if you don't have a background in writing, as long as your article makes sense. You send it to me, we like edit it together, we add some photos, like make it look pretty. And then it goes into the magazine. You are like, so what I did for the March magazine, I put a call out on our social media, and I asked who wants to write for the magazine. Just let me know like topics that interest you, because the magazine's not about me. It's not about like anything to do with me. It's just what people want, right? So if you had an interest, we have a couple of the articles in the magazine there's going to be a super mom series. So it's an interesting book. It's an interesting like series that we're going to do. But basically it's this mom who runs a small business, has 2 young kids. It's not me. It's another lady, has 2 young kids, runs her business, still works from home, and is navigating life like as a mom. So it's like her journey. So every month or every quarter, there will be a magazine in that feature. There's a feature right now. We're always going to feature one local person, what they're doing in the community, that sort of thing. So we have a feature for that. And then we have just like articles, and there's a fitness article that's going in there. There's an article about starting a business during COVID. It's just basically, if you have something of interest and you think it would interest other people, you could submit your topic. If I approve it, which I probably would, as long as it's not like super out there. The point of the magazine is not to be any kind of political or any sort of thing. It's just for fun. Yeah. So as long as it's a fun type of topic, chances are it gets approved. You write your article, and then I get it printed.
I think those are great. Like, I mean, from what I was hearing, like those sounds like great things. Like, I mean, like the mom one, especially, that's going to be a recurring series. Yeah. And the starting a business during COVID, I think many will appreciate. Because there are people that started businesses just right before COVID, during COVID, and ones that have had businesses long before that. And, exactly. But yeah, no, that's great to hear. That's great. Because I mean, that's a wide array of content too.
Yeah, like we're not and we're not even like targeting a specific demographic for the magazine. If like I said, it's for the people by the people. So I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman, you're a child. I don't care. If you wanna pick up our magazine, that like the magazine is for the local community. And by local community, like I said, I mean Canadians just looking for something, like some form of entertainment, some form of just 5 minutes escape from your life, read something that's not, mainstream.
Yeah, no, 100%. A little bit of relief, like that's what people need right now. Yeah. That's great. And again, like I was just thinking about some more, like it's not just, especially with the additional distribution through the subscription boxes, it's good exposure for the nonprofits that you're helping too.
Exactly.
That's great. Because hopefully that brings in more money for them, and maybe they develop an interest in some of these things. I mean, you do cover some interesting things. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I see a ton of benefit to this. just doing all the different things that you're doing. And like, it's not just like the regular same old thing that
Yeah,
you see.
we're always looking for new, innovative things, ways for my goal for this year is for people to be able to make memories, to build new relationships, to network. And a lot of the events that we have planned for this year, whether it's virtual or in person, that's our goal, is to bring awareness not only to the causes that we're supporting, but to make memories with the people you love, to support your local community. It's just to be a part of something. Like, that's it. Just be a part of something.
That's great. That's great. Because I mean, I think people have learned to appreciate that a lot more, especially as some of us have become, or a lot of us have become more disconnected.
Exactly.
So I think that a lot of people will appreciate this. And again, I just like how it's gone beyond the Dufferin borders. That's cool to see. It's nice. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah. So I think we kind of talked about this, but where can one get a copy of it? So you can get it through the through the subscription boxes, and then they can also get it through you as well, right? Like
Yeah.
They go to the website.
Yeah. So the digital magazine will be on the Shop with Purpose website. To purchase, to make a donation for your magazine, like the actual paper magazine, you'll be able to do that on the Brand with Purpose website. There'll be a checkout thing that you can be able to do on there, and there'll be different like levels of dollars that you can donate, and it includes the donation plus the postage, because we'll mail it to you. We aren't doing any kind of like local pickups or anything, because it's just easier to just throw it in the mail, get it to you. So that way we're not like stuck with just within our borders.
That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I want to make sure, are there any criteria for those wanting to advertise with the local purpose?
Nope. As long as they are Canadian-based businesses, we have no real restrictions. Obviously, we aren't going to advertise anything that causes harm to people. So like any kind of like super violent things, we won't be doing that. But really, if you own a business within Canada, a lot of our businesses that are advertising with us are from Dufferin or from Ontario. So we have a focus obviously on Ontario because we are Ontario-based. But yeah, as long as you want to, and we actually have the option of like designing the ad for you, or you can design the ad and then submit the ad. And then there's 3 ad sizes that you can choose from. So you can either have a full page ad where the entire page is dedicated to you. You can have a half page ad or a 3rd page ad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think you mentioned this, that the first issue goes out on March 1st?
Yep, it'll go March 1st to coincide with when the subscription boxes go out. So the Shop Small Co boxes go out March 1st, June 1st, September 1st, and December 1st. So when it goes out, that's when we release it, because inside of each of our magazine, it actually talks about the contents of the subscription box. So we don't want to give away any kind of surprises. So it's always going to launch when they launch their boxes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I thank you for telling me more about the magazine. I think that'll be helpful, especially for people like that's great. So I want to get back to the market. So this one that's upcoming, it's Have a Heart for Headwaters campaign that's being benefited, right? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So February, our entire month is dedicated to the Have a Heart for Headwaters campaign. Their goal this year is to raise $25,000 for their cardiac equipment. If you go on the Headwaters Healthcare Foundation website, there's actually a link to the Have a Heart campaign, and it tells you exactly why they're fundraising and what they need that money for. But we're fundraising on behalf of Shop with Purpose for them. So we have our virtual market planned. That's on February 6th. It starts at 10 o'clock and it runs until midnight. There are over 25 virtual vendors for that. And then again, just like all of our events, $5 from every single fee collected for the virtual vendors gets donated to Headwaters. And so yeah, it kicks off at 10. We go live with some of our virtual vendors at 10 a.m. and then again at 8 p.m. So it's a great way to like get to know the faces behind the actual businesses, because there's real people behind all these local businesses, right? So it's just like a nice, informal, quick little chat that I have with them. You get to know them, you get to know their products, and it's actually a lot of fun. Like they field questions from people, and that's always on Instagram. So 10 o'clock and 8 o'clock on market dates.
Nice.
So that's that's actually our kickoff event for February. And then Family Day, we're planning a scavenger hunt extravaganza. So families will be able to register starting Friday, January 29th. So tomorrow, they'll be able to register for their spot, and it's all from home. So they get sent a scavenger hunt list of things. It's all the activities, everything they need, and it's a way for them to connect with their families and make memories. So there'll be different challenges that they have to do. We actually have prizes from a lot of our local businesses that we work with. So it's a photo kind of scavenger hunt. So you submit proof via social media, tag us, tag the hashtag that we have for the scavenger hunt. And then we have different categories for different prizes. And then at the end of the night, so at 7 o'clock, we have some entertainment. And I can't tell you too much about that because it's still being planned, but we have a magician and we have some other great entertainers lined up. So when you register for your ticket for the scavenger hunt, you get a ticket for your Zoom entertainment at nighttime. And then a portion of the fee collected obviously goes to pay our entertainers, but also goes to our campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's more. So those are our events for February. And then we have our mug of the month. The cool thing about our mug of the month this month is that each mug, you have the option of adding edibles to it. So the edibles are sugar cookies and hot chocolate bombs shaped like hearts. So great little Valentine's Day gifts that you can give. And then we added an apparel collection for February. So they're called our cause products, and it's called the Superheroes Wear Capes collection. So there's different sweaters, there's sweaters and long sleeve shirts for men and women. We have the ability to do kids too. And it's like a screen printed heart. It says Superheroes Wear Capes. And it's like to pay tribute to our healthcare workers who are working at Headwaters. And then $5 from every single thing sold from that collection goes to Headwaters as well. And you also have the ability to gift one of those sweaters or one of the mugs to a Headwaters staff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. You got a lot going on. Like, it's really exciting. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that's awesome. So before we wrap it up, is there anything you'd like to say to the people of Dufferin?
Thanks for coming out to every single event that we had in 2020, whether it was virtual or in person. The whole reason we were able to donate so much was because people showed up. They were vendors at our virtual markets. They shopped our virtual markets. They showed up to our in-person events. They did our Santa experiences. They commented on our things. Like, they just did so much. So I'm hoping 2021, we can actually see everybody's faces more in person and not just virtual. Here's to hoping that the summer allows us to do something like that. But just thanks for showing up and for continuing to show your support, sharing the Shop with Purpose message. It warms my heart all the time when I log onto Facebook and I see another recommendation, like somebody's looking for something and they're like, oh, go look on the Shop with Purpose, like Facebook. And I'm like, oh, thanks guys. So it's awesome that like the Shop with Purpose name is getting recognized in the community and people are actually like kind of starting to associate small businesses with us and giving back. Like I've met so many like small businesses now that have told me, oh, I give back now because I saw that you were doing it and I thought it was so cool. Like, it's such a great idea to like not just provide a product, like let's provide hope, let's provide like dollars for people. Like, so it's cool. It's a lot of fun and really, really nice.
That's great. So what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Anybody can reach me on social media, Facebook or Instagram. My family will attest that I usually have my phone next to me, so it's really, really easy to contact me. They can email me at shopwithpurposemarket@gmail.com. Our website usually has a lot of our information on it. That's www.shopwithpurpose.ca. And I'm always updating the website to include anything new that we have added. Yeah. Best way usually though is social media. Like I said, I always have my phone with me. So as soon as that ding goes on, you probably get an answer within an hour.
That's awesome. That makes it convenient for everybody. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, I mean, that's a lot of exciting stuff you got going on. I mean, really, honestly, like there's a lot going on, and it's great that so many people are getting realizing benefits from it, whether it's the nonprofits or the businesses or the shoppers. Like, I mean, like this is great. Like, I mean, honestly, like this is awesome. And I mean, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and I look forward to see what happens next.
Yeah. Thank you for having us and for spreading the word.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jessica. Well, that was Jessica Medeiros, coordinator of the Shop with Purpose Market, and I'm Josh McEwen, and thank you so much for listening to Dufferin News. Thanks.